Once upon a time, in a small village called Umuwait, there lived a young boy named EZE. EZE was a bright and curious boy who loved to learn new things. He would often sit under the big mango tree in the center of the village and listen to the elders tell stories about faraway lands and great heroes. But more than anything, EZE dreamed of going to school. He wanted to read books, write his own stories, and become a wise man who could help his village. EZE's father, Mazi Okeke, was a kind and hard-working man. He believed in the power of education and always told EZE, "My son, if you go to school and work hard, you can achieve anything. Education is the key to a better life." EZE held on to these words tightly, like a precious treasure. But one day, tragedy struck. Mazi Okeke fell very sick, and despite the village healer's best efforts, he passed away. EZE was heartbroken. He had lost not only his father, but also his biggest supporter. After Mazi Okeke's death, life became very difficult for EZE and his mother, Nneka. Mazi Okeke had left some money and a small piece of land, but his relatives quickly came and took everything, claiming it was theirs. They said, "EZE is just a boy. What does he need with land and money? He should focus on helping his mother at home." EZE's mother tried to argue, but she was no match for the greedy relatives. They left EZE and his mother with almost nothing. EZE was angry and sad, but he didn't give up on his dream. He decided he would find a way to go to school no matter what. One morning, he woke up early, put on his best clothes and went to see the village school teacher, Mr. Nosu. Mr. Nosu was a tall, strict man with a kind heart. He had heard about EZE's father and the family's troubles. "Good morning, sir," EZE said, standing straight and looking Mr. Nosu in the eye. "I want to go to school, but I don't have money to pay the fees. Please, sir, is there any way I can still come to school?" Mr. Nosu looked at EZE for a long time. He saw the determination in the boy's eyes and remembered how much Mazi Okeke had believed in education. "EZE," he said, "if you are willing to work hard, I will let you come to school. You can help clean the classrooms and fetch water for the teachers. In return, I will teach you." EZE's face lit up with joy. "Thank you, sir. I will work very hard, I promise." And so EZE began his journey to school. Every morning he woke up before the sun rose, helped his mother with the chores, and then ran to school. Swept the classrooms, fetched water from the stream, and did whatever Mr. Nozo asked him to do. The other children laughed at him and called him the school cleaner, but EZE didn't care. He was just happy to be in school. EZE was a fast learner. He listened carefully to Mr. Nosu's lessons and practiced his writing on scraps of paper. He even taught himself to read by looking at old newspapers that Mr. Nosu gave him. Soon EZE was one of the best students in the class. Mr. Nosu was very proud of him and often said, "EZE, you have a bright future ahead of you. Keep working hard." But EZE's challenges were far from over. One day, his relatives came to his house again. This time they said, "EZE, you are now the man of the house. You must stop going to school and start working to support your mother." EZE's heart sank. He didn't want to stop school, but he also didn't want to let his mother down. That night, EZE sat by the fire with his mother. "Mama," he said, "I don't want to stop school. I want to learn and make you proud. But I also want to help you. What should I do?" Nneka looked at her son with tears in her eyes. "EZE, your father always said that education is the key to a better life. I will not let anyone take that away from you. We will find a way." The next day, Nneka went to the market and sold some of her jewelry. She gave the money to EZE and said, "Use this to pay your school fees. I will find other ways to make money. You just focus on your studies." EZE was so grateful to his mother. He promised himself that he would work even harder to make her proud. But life was still not easy. The money his mother gave him was only enough for one term, and EZE knew he would need more to continue school. He decided to start a small business. After school, he would go to the stream, catch fish, and sell them in the market. It was hard work, but EZE didn't mind. He was determined to stay in school. One day, while EZE was selling fish in the market, he met a kind woman named Mrs. Adebayo. She was a teacher from a big city who was visiting the village. Mrs. Adebayo noticed how hard EZE was working and asked him about his life. EZE told her his story, and Mrs. Adebayo was very impressed. "EZE," she said, "you are a very brave and hardworking boy. I want to help you. If you can pass the entrance exam, I will give you a scholarship to attend a good school in the city." Eze couldn't believe his ears. A scholarship to a school in the city? It was like a dream come true. He thanked Mrs. Adebayo and promised to study even harder for the exam. The day of the exam finally arrived. Eze was nervous but determined. He answered all the questions as best as he could and waited anxiously for the results. A few weeks later, Mrs. Adebayo returned to the village with the news. "Eze," she said with a big smile, "you passed the exam. You have won the scholarship." Eze was overjoyed. He ran home to tell his mother, and they both cried tears of happiness. The villagers heard the news and came to congratulate Eze. Even his relatives, who had once tried to stop him from going to school, now praised him and said, "Eze, you have made us proud." Eze's journey to the city was not easy. He had to leave his mother and his village behind, but he knew it was for a good reason. The city school was big and beautiful, with tall buildings and lots of books. Eze worked harder than ever, studying late into the night and making new friends. He never forgot where he came from and always remembered his father's words, "Education is the key to a better life." One day, Eze faced a new challenge. The city school was very different from the village school. The lessons were harder and the other students had more resources than he did. Some of the students even made fun of him because of his old clothes and village accent. But Eze didn't let their words discourage him. He focused on his studies and worked even harder. Afternoon, Eze's teacher, Mr. Balogun, noticed how quiet EZE was during class. He called EZE aside and asked, "EZE, is everything okay? You seem a little down today." EZE hesitated but then told Mr. Balogun about the challenges he was facing. Mr. Balogun listened carefully and said, "Eze, don't let anyone make you feel small. You have come this far because of your hard work and determination. That is something to be proud of. Keep your head high and keep moving forward." Mr. Balogun's words gave EZE the strength to keep going. He started participating more in class and even joined the school's debate team. EZE's confidence grew, and soon he became one of the top students in the school. Years passed and EZE graduated from school with top honors. He went on to study at a university and became a successful engineer. He returned to his village and built a new school for the children so they too could have the opportunity to learn and dream big. Eze's story spread far and wide, inspiring many children to believe in the power of education. And whenever Eze sat under the big mango tree in the center of the village, he would tell the children, no matter how hard life gets, never give up on your dreams. With hard work and determination, you can achieve anything. And so Eze's dream came true, and he lived happily ever after, knowing that he had made a difference in the world. The end.